You gonna be the best boy and stay? Yes, of course he's the best boy. Okay. So today is the 6th of January 2025. It's 2026. All year 2026. So what we have here is the Edwin H Gott and the Wilfred Sykes right there. And let me zoom in some. There we go. So the Gott's been here all day. The Poe Lock has been closed due to a diving operation. I'm not sure in the lock or another side of the lock or what, but been closed for that. And the Sykes, well, they've been kind of hanging out for traffic. The ship we did miss is the Saginaw. They came through the Mac lock here while I was at work. And we were able to scoot on by, and Wilfred Sykes, well, they are now coming in here. Look at that. That plume coming out of there, wow. That's something right there. Okay. So there's been quite a few issues lately with boats getting around all through the river system. The Saginaw spent the night stuck in the ice there by Nebush Island. And then the American Integrity got stuck there at Johnson's Point, coming back up. Katmai Bay was able to get them free. They actually might be almost up here, below the lock though. Who is waiting out there? Someone waiting. Is it the Indiana Harbor? I'm not sure now. They're waiting for the Poe Lock. No, Munson is waiting. And Dirk, S. Van Eckevort. They're all waiting above the lock. And I think the American Integrity, we won't be able to see them. But I heard that they had permission to come up and tie up at the lock wall. So they could be down there, we just can't see them. So there's that. A bunch of ice in here. It's actually quite warm. Like 27, 28 degrees. It was trying to rain earlier. So I think what we might do, the sense of adventure here, put this glove back on. Because I don't want to necessarily just have Argo sitting here. Because it's not so cold. Argo. But he is wearing his little wee coat. Which is okay as long as we're moving. So we're going to try this. I don't know if he knows it yet. We'll see what he thinks when we get up to this wall of snow. So, up. Look at him go. Mountain goat Argo. So, this snow over here should be pretty hard packed. Because this has all been plowed up. Should be. And I sink in. What do you think, Argo? I can tell you no one has had this angle in a while because there's no footprints up here but ours. So we're going to come over here. And normally when I see that black plume, it's their thruster. It's hard for me to tell. But you see it, right? Of course, you know I can't resist the Wilfred Sykes. If you maybe pick one, as I said before, it'd be hard for me to choose between the Sykes and the Alpina. My favorite footer is right there, the Gott. That's my favorite footer. That's a tough choice. Why do I gotta pick just one favorite, you know? I guess I don't, do I? So I can't zoom in just a touch more. Oh, see one, at least one, I see 2, 3 deckhands over, so I think they just threw the heaving line down yet. So we missed that. May have been while we were walking through the deep snow. Who knows? But I feel really fortunate to catch the Sykes again. And also the Gott is still here. I'm sure they're not too pleased about it. But I'm glad to see him. I saw him this morning, tied up right there. And they got a decent amount of ice. Where the Joyce L. Van Eckevort came through last night, and they had so much crust on the front of their barge. The Erie Trader, I think. Holy cow. It was almost unreal how much ice they had. It's just cool. You call it a twofer? The Gott is under power, it's just not moving. At the very least, it's a double, whether it counts as a twofer or not. I'll leave that up to you. Tell me down in the comments, is that a twofer or just a double? I think the rules of twofers and threefers mandate that they must all be under power. Yes. Before I leave though, I'm going to zoom in on their star there. I think last time I saw them was during the day. You didn't really get to see their lights much. I can't tell if they have the Christmas lights on the back of the wheelhouse or not, because you can't see the back side of the wheelhouse. Well, that's a really pretty ship. Really pretty ship. Give a few more minutes. Argo is, well, maybe. I'm looking at his little, I don't see a shiver. No. Now, as we get to this end of the season here, we get to where, like for the Sykes, will we see them again? Who knows this season? And then we get to all the ships, like depending on weather, we get in the possibility of these ships have one trip left this season. That's the 6th. Lock closes in 9 days. I think it takes about 5 days for a trip. So, and good weather. And crummy weather like we've had, where they keep getting stopped by the ice and all that. Who knows? So, like during the summer, you feel like you have all the time in the world to see these ships, and then January comes, you're like, shoot, this might be their last trip up here this year. Now's when the Sykes starts to get really big. We're going to check out that ice there on the anchor. That's kind of neat. It's hard to get closer than this. Nice. All right, Argo, let's go. We're going to go down here a little bit further. Maybe up here on the harder snow. It's warm, so I'm not wearing my snow pants. So I'm trying to not get a whole bunch of snow up inside the legs of my pants. Well, we got some Wilfred Sykes fans down there. No surprise. I wonder if maybe it's from the rear thruster, because that is some uncharacteristically dark plumage there coming out of the stacks there. Of course, they're still running on a steam turbine, but I believe it's diesel. I think they're using diesel for fuel to generate the steam. Such a cool ship. Got a brave man out there in a t-shirt. Or tough man, or both. Let's zoom in on that stack. Look at that. Cleveland Cliffs. And down here we have the Greasy Spoon. A little tender boat. I'm not in the best position. I can hear the propeller and see the rudder turn. Amazing. I love seeing that. All right, there we go. Let's go back this way. Ugh. I know I said it was going to be quick, but I just can't resist. What do you think, Argo? Argo the adventure dog. Okay. I'll do a little wider angle. There we go. Look at that ice there in the background. Ooh. Just coming with them. This fence is at like knee height. That's how tall the snow is that I'm standing on. Oh, that's cool. All right, Wilfred Sykes. And the prop wash coming all the way out, shoving some ice. That is cool. Right, there we go. Okay, you've been a good sport, dog. I think they're running a little more power trying to get in there than normal. I hope they don't get stuck and have to back out. All right. But that's gonna do it, for this video. Argo started to go and now the leash won't reach. Argo. I guess we can go that way, huh? Come here. He's like, come on, we can just follow the ship, Cody. See, he's smarter than I am. Up here's where I was at the beginning. We're walking the tunnel. Yes, I do have chains on my boots. Walking here along Portage. And Wilfred Sykes. Trying to get into MacArthur Lock. How cool is that? Only here in the Soo can you get this close. All right, Argo, you're gonna be a good sport one more time. Argo, stay. You gotta like kick in a step. Okay. Sound effects are bonus there. There we go. Those seem like they're pushing pretty hard. Gosh. Okay, well, this is 20 minutes long, so it's gonna have to do it. Right, Argo? Okay. Oop, yep. Ooh. Pretty graceful. All right, Argo. Hey, Argo. Argo. Yeah, let me grab that. Okay. Now I'm going to sign this off. Thanks for joining us. You know I'm a sucker for the Sykes. And Argo, well, you know, he did the right choice and said, hey, we can just follow the Sykes. So that's why he is the brains of this here operation. So have a great day. And Argo and I will be back, won't we, dog? He's on a mission. We will see you later.